11 families and first responders calling themselves the Never Forget Coalition. They right now are gathered just steps from ground zero. They're there to express their anger, their disappointment over the government's decision to put Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 other alleged 9/11 co-conspirators on trial right in New York City in civilian court. Let's get there. Eric Shawn is at Battery Park in Lower Manhattan, where that news conference is taking place. What do these families hope to accomplish here, Eric?
Yeah, Jane, we're right in the shadow of the Statue of Liberty. As you can see behind me, the news conference about to begin. They are protesting the Obama administration plan to bring the 5 terrorist suspects to trial in the civilian court. This is the beginning of what will be many more protests. They are planning a rally on December 5th, a Saturday, against this. It's very controversial, as you know. These are members of the 9/11 Never Forget.us plan. They already have 120,000 signatures on a petition against this. As you can see, speaking right now is Debra Burlingame. She is the sister of the pilot of one of the planes that crashed on that day, as well as Peter King, a congressman of the Homeland Security subcommittee. Let's listen for a moment to this news conference.
Obama, Attorney General Eric Holder, and members of Congress from bringing sworn enemies of the United States into this country, and from bringing war criminals captured on the battlefield, lawfully held as war detainees, into civilian court. It doesn't have to happen. 2 weeks ago, 300 9/11 family members sent a letter to the president telling him we adamantly oppose this foolish, dangerous, and unnecessary act. The letter was never acknowledged. 1 hour after the Attorney General made his stunning announcement that unlawful foreign combatants would be tried as civilians in federal court, the number of signers to that letter jumped to 45,000. That was in 1 hour. By the end of the day, the number of signers was 100,000. Our internet server couldn't handle the volume of Americans who had somehow found out about this letter and wished to stand with us. That was the genesis of this movement. Just as they did 8 years ago.
You are watching Debra Burlingame. She is the sister of the pilot of the American Airlines flight that crashed into the Pentagon, announcing this petition and letter that they've put on their website, 9/11 Never Forget.us. This is they announced their rally that they will have on December 5th. While this group is speaking out here against the civilian trials, another group in Washington of 2 9/11 widows speaking out for the civilian trials. They note, in their view, that American justice will be served by having these trials, saying it's not revenge. And they also say that these accused terrorists should be tried as common criminals. There have been previous terror trials here in New York City. El Sayed Nosair, convicted in life in prison for the assassination of Meir Kahane back in 1990. Nosair and other of his colleagues also later convicted in federal court of the bombing of the World Trade Center in 1993, including Ramzi Youssef, who was the convicted mastermind of that plot. Youssef, in fact, when he was sentenced in 1998, stood up in court and said, "Yes, I am a terrorist." He is now serving life in prison, as well as some of the al-Qaeda members who bombed the embassies in Africa. They were also convicted. But despite those previous trials and other people speaking out, those here, as you can see, very angry, very outraged, believe it is the wrong decision to bring these men here to New York City, the wrong decision to try them in civilian federal court, especially since Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has already agreed to plead guilty and get the death penalty in a military tribunal. It seems we're only getting the beginning of some of the anger over this decision by the administration. We're live in Lower Manhattan at the protest. I'm Eric Shawn, Fox News. Jane, back to you.
Eric, thanks very much.